Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series, and the question for today is define grow out test and explain briefly the methods of rugging in seed fields. So I think the question can be divided into two parts. In the first part we have to define simply what grow out test is, and in the second part we have to discuss the methods of rugging in seed fields. And this question was asked in this year's agriculture optional paper of UPSC Civil Services examination, that is in 2025. So let's see how we can approach the answer. So obviously we can directly start by defining grow out test. So the most simplest definition of grow out test would be that grow out test, grow grow out test is a post harvest genetic purification, is a post harvest genetic purity verification method through field comparison. Method through field comparison. So this is what grow out test is. So it is grow out test is a post harvest genetic purity verification tests. Okay. So grow out test we generally kind of see genetic purity of our seeds. Okay, or you can say genetic, not seeds, genetic purity of our plants. Genetic purity of our plants. And how it is done? It is done by field comparison. Suppose we have a good field here, and there are 10 plants in this field with good genetic purity when the same amount, and in suppose in the other field with the same amount of seed there are only 5 plants or there are only 6 plants, and our genetic purity is also inferior. So we can compare that. In grow out test, this field is not up to the mark when compared to this field which is highly genetically pure with good amount of pure stands. So this is how you can compare. Okay, so this is what grow out test is. Generally here the crops are let to grow, and the way they grow we kind of see their genetic purity. Okay, while they grow, after growing we check their genetic purity after growing. So this is what grow out test is. This is how you can define grow out test. Now you can also mention some objectives of grow out test. Okay, why it is done. Objectives of grow out test. First of all, it verify genetic purity of seed lots. Verify genetic purity of seed lots from those plants. Genetic purity of seed lots. Okay, because these seed lots, seed purity of seed lots. The plant grown from these seeds are genetically pure or not. Secondly, we can confirm varietal identity. We confirm varietal identity. The variety is up to the mark or not. The variety which we are going for, is that variety or not, through genetic tests and grow out tests. It can detect mechanical mixtures and contaminations. Detect mechanical mixtures and contaminations. So if the seeds are not growing well, we can detect the mechanical mixtures and contaminations, because the bad growth or poor growth can be due to these mechanical mixtures. Secondly, it can help us to evaluate seed multiplication programs. Okay, evaluate can help us evaluate seed multiplication program. Okay, where kind of breeder seeds, foundation seeds, all these seeds are multiplied. We can evaluate those programs using grow out test by the function of the seeds, by the growth of plants through those seeds. So this is all about grow out test. So I hope you understand it. Now in the second part of the question, you can see the question is about methods of rugging in seed fields. So you can simply start the second part by defining rugging. What is rugging? Here it is with grow out test, but several times in past they have directly asked rugging. Okay, so it is very important question. So rugging is the removal of off type plants, removal of off types. So these off types can be either diseased plants, this can be either kind of undesirable plants, impure plants. Okay, all these things can be off types. So when we remove these off type or off type plants from our field, that is called rugging. Suppose there are 10 plants in our field and here one is diseased and we have to remove it. So when we remove this off type, this process is known as rugging. Now when you see the question is asking us about methods of rugging in seed fields. So there are various methods which we will see. Okay, methods of rugging. Methods of rugging. So the first method is genetic rugging. Genetic rugging. So here we remove off type plants based on differing genetic makeup. If there are 10 plants and a couple of plants are different in genetic makeup, we will remove them. Okay. So rugging on the basis of genetic makeup. Secondly, pathological rugging. Pathological rugging. So here disease plants are removed. Okay. To prevent the disease spread. Suppose there is a disease plant. If it is not removed, the disease can spread to the other plants. So pathological rugging is removal of diseased plants. Then we have entomological rugging. Okay, here the plants infested by insects are removed. Okay, entomological name only suggests removal of plants infected by insects. Next, you can also mention about mechanical rugging, where machines are used for rugging. Okay, instead of hand, we use various kind of machines. We use kind of mechanical rugging can be very helpful in mixed seeds, where a lot of plants are there with mixed seeds. So all these things can be done. So I think if you mention these 4 5 methods of rugging, it would be enough. You can also mention the another basis of rugging, that is based on growth stages. So these methods is on the basis of you can mention on the basis of purpose. This is the methods on basis of purpose. The other methods can be mentioned on the basis of growth stages, crop growth stages, crop growth stages. So here we can kind of define rugging, and you can classify methods of rugging on the basis of 3 parts. First one is before flowering, then that is during flowering, second is during flowering, and third is after flowering, that is maturity stage. After flowering, so this would be before flowering would be vegetative stage, during flowering is flowering stage, and after flowering is maturity stage. So here if you see, before flowering we remove plants on the basis of morphological appearances. Okay, basis of leaf color, on basis of shape, on basis of height. All these things is being done before flowering. During flowering we remove of types on basis of flower. Is the flower shape proper? Is the flower color is proper? Either the flower is influenced by any kind of insects, any kinds of diseases or not. So rugging is basis, the method of rugging is based on it. And after maturity, the rugging is based on certain factors such as pod formation, how is the ear of, or how is the fruit of the plant. So rugging is the basis of this. Generally, physical purity is maintained after harvesting in maturity, so that it is good after harvesting. So these methods are divided into these factors also, based on basis of growth stages, and these are the on basis of purpose. Why we are rugging. So these are the methods of rugging which you can mention, and I think these 4 methods are very important, which you should mention. So I think you understand the both parts of the question. Okay, you understand grow out test, you understand methods of rugging, and in conclusion you can mention both the things that grow out test and rugging are done to maintain the pure stands in the field, so that our seed lots are pure, so that our future productions are pure. Hence these two are very important methods in a kind of seed germination or plant varieties development, all these things. So this is that is how you can conclude your answer. So I hope you understand all the parts of the question. That this is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button. Please do share and please do subscribe. Okay, it takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis. And if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.